Dámy a pánové, fanoušci hokeje, tady pořad NHL Insider a další exkluzivní host. Já jsem moc rád, že tady můžu přivítat velice vzácnou návštěvu a to je kanadská legenda, novinář Ken Campbell z magazínu The Hockey News a jeho webu. Hockey News je opravdová bible hokeje. Welcome, Ken. Nice to meet you and thanks for coming.
Prosím. Jsem strašný tady být s vámi.
Yeah. So did you
I'm happy to be here. I don't know if that came through, but
did you understand something from my introduction?
I heard my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
the Bible of Hockey.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
And your wife is from Czech originally.
Yes, my wife was born in Czech. My wife was born in Czech. Lived in Prague for the first 6 years of her life, and left with about 70,000 other people in 1968.
Yeah.
And came to Canada, and I'm very happy her family did that.
Did you catch something in Czech, of course?
What's that?
At home? If you catch something in Czech at home from her,
oh,
from
yeah.
your wife.
Yeah, she always says Domky Parfecek to me.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Beep.
Yeah. No, I pick up a few words here and there,
Okay.
you know. Pivo prosím. That's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Njavim, I know that one. And I've got my little handy-dandy Czech phrase book here too, so
I can use it too during the interview.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But what about the Sparta game? We met there.
Yeah.
So how did you like it? And
I liked it. I thought I was very impressed with the atmosphere. I was really flabbergasted to see that there were only 10,000 people there. It sounded like a crowd of about 15.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, people are obviously very passionate about that team here.
Yeah.
And, you know, good to see them win. Good to see them get their first win under coach Yaroslav Nedved.
Yeah.
And it was great. The hockey was better than I thought it was going to be. It was pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more physical than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was really impressed with it. I spoke with Mark Pysyk after the game. And he's, of course, playing defense this year for Sparta. And it was funny because he told me, he said he thinks that, like, he played in Finland last year, and before that he spent like 10 years in the NHL. And so he told me two things that really surprised me. He said, first of all, he talked about how it's more physical here than in Finland, and how it's closer to the NHL style of game here than in Finland. And I always was under the impression that that would have been opposite. That it would have been opposite. That Finland would have been closer to the NHL and more physical, because I you know, you see the Finland guys come over and they're usually pretty gritty and tough and stuff, and they play. I'm pretty sure Finland plays all their elite league plays on all NHL sized rinks, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But I know a lot of them do. So I was surprised to hear that. Well, and you're getting American players here too, and guys who played in the NCAA and all that sort of thing. Well, I obviously I don't know for sure, but I have to assume that the money's better. I mean, these guys at this stage of their career are probably going to go where the money is or where they can play. You know, I know for Pysyk, you know, he doesn't need the money. I mean, he made $15 million during his career, right? So he doesn't need the money, right? He still wants to play, and that's what he told me. He said, you know, I'm still loving the game. And he played in Finland last year, had a really good year. And then he said that this opportunity came up, and he jumped at it, you know?
Okay. And one of the persons you met was Dominikem Haškem, Czech hockey legend. He plays defense now.
I know.
In his hobby team. So
yeah. The Shoemakers.
How was he?
The Shoemakers, because apparently he's from a part of town where they used to make shoes. So yeah.
How was he?
He was great. We talked for an hour. I was surprised. I said, "Where do you want to meet?" He goes, "Well, he wanted to meet at the Andel Mall." I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. You know, but he was fine with that. Like, people all around, and he doesn't try to hide or anything, right? And we did talk about his hockey team. He was very excited about it. It was funny because the Dominikem Hašek that I dealt with and a lot of us dealt with in North America seems very different from the Dominikem Hašek that is now 60 years old and has two grown kids and two small kids. You know, he seems a lot more relaxed, mellow, you know, and he was like, he was laughing, he was joking, he was like talking about his team, and he was so excited. Like he said, "Oh, we had a game Saturday." He said we played against the first place team, and last year it was really like intense against them, and we beat them 6-4. And he said his wife was complaining because it was his son's birthday that day, and he had to get back in time for the party. But he was all excited about how they won this
typical
game.
Him,
like he was so excited about it. And I was like, and it just goes to show, right? Like the passion never leaves you, right? It's always there. Yeah. Once you get that bug to play hockey and you play, especially at the level those guys do, the passion never leaves you. And he's still really passionate about playing, and he loves it, and he enjoys it.
It doesn't matter if it's Stanley Cup Finals and maybe
or beer league in Prague. Yeah, exactly. Same thing, right? Yeah. So he was good. He was good. We talked about a lot of things. Talked about goaltending now and how he, obviously goalies are completely different than now than they were when he. Well, then he was. He was different than anybody. Like best butterfly goalie ever, probably. In my opinion, the best goalie ever. People talk about Patrick Roy, people talk about Martin Brodeur or Jacques Plante, Terry Sawchuk, whatever. I think Dominikem Haškem is the greatest goalie who's ever played. So we talked about goalies today, and he said, but. They're really good. They're way better than we were. And he was smart about it. Like, because I've heard old players say, oh, those guys, they're not as good as we were. Yeah, they're way better usually, And of course, we talked about his political views because I found it really interesting. Like, I've never seen an athlete, either a current athlete or a former athlete, who is as outspoken politically as Jaromir Jagr is. I mean, maybe Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in basketball, LeBron James maybe a little bit, but I mean, this is really it's really rare to see a guy that's this opinionated about things and really wants to make a change. And he seems really frustrated with, the war in Ukraine, obviously, and the fact that NHL guys. I think his point is that NHL guys, he says he has nothing against Russian players, but he says that the thing that bothers him most is every time Ovechkin scores a goal or they come out or Kucherov plays in the All-Star game or whatever, it's an advertisement for the war. And he maintains that they've gotten trillions of dollars of free advertising for this war through. Sports people and entertainers and that kind of thing. And, he might be right.
Do the people understand there what it's about?
I think we understand. Yeah, I think we know what's going on and we pay attention to it. And Canada has been very, I think, supportive of Vladimir Zelensky and has, given what we can to the effort in Ukraine. And, I mean, I would say that Canada really is not super happy about Russia right now, but also, for the first time in probably hundreds of years, we're not so happy with our neighbor to the south either, right? Yeah. Like U.S. has done some things that have really, and you may have seen
some reactions at Four Nations,
in Four Nations, right? So I mean, that's very real. That's very visceral, and it's very real. And people are upset about the tariffs, first of all, and secondly the rhetoric, and I think it is just rhetoric that Donald Trump continues to bring up about Canada being the 51st state and that, and I don't think that that's ever a serious thing, but it bothers us. It bothers us a lot, because it's we're proud. You're proud. Czech people are really proud. Finnish people are super really proud. Canadians are proud too, right? And so we don't like to hear that sort of thing.
Pokračování pořadu najdete na zimák.cz nebo v prémiové sekci na iSport.cz. Děkujeme a přejeme vám příjemnou zábavu.